Welcome everyone to another season, a brand new season of Well That's Horrific, a podcast about anything and everything horror. I am your co-host, Mr. S.
And I'm Tom Cruise.
And what a beautiful time to be alive. Yeah, the spooky season is upon us. The fall is coming. You know, it's still September, but I already have my Halloween decorations out. Not outside because there's been a lot of rain. But it's spooky season. Horror movies are coming out. A lot of things are coming out. I just wish for some, nice, crisp, chill air, which we're not getting yet. It's still sunny over here, but we're here. We're here. Brand new season. A lot of things to talk about. I'm very excited to be here. So thank you for listening. Tommy, how you doing? How you feeling?
I'm feeling good. Same as you, actually. I'm starting to put decorations up. I have a couple Halloween decorations in the apartment, of course, not outside. But I'm getting there. Like you mentioned, we're still early September, so it's not necessarily fall yet, but we're almost there. About a week or two out, but still, September to me is already getting into spooky season.
Absolutely. We're 49 days away from Halloween. 49 days. It will be here very, very soon. But yeah, like we mentioned, it's a new season, and what a way to kick it off. We're going to be talking about The Nun 2. We are going to review that. Tommy and I got to see it. It just came out last Friday, over the weekend. A lot of anticipation with this film. Spoiler warning, as always. I was, excited to watch this. I remember watching the first film. A lot of people know The Nun from the Conjuring series. Obviously, The Conjuring has opened doors to a lot of horror films, and they've been successful. The numbers speak for themselves, and it's a sequel. This is 5 years after the first film, and I'm interested to hear your thoughts on it, because I know I have some thoughts on mine. So I'm gonna give it to you and see what you think.
Sure. So, The Nun 2 stars Thaisa Farmiga. She's coming back.
Yes,
we saw her from the first Nun, directed by Michael Chavez, written by Ian Goldberg, Richard Nang, Akela Cooper. Those are the three credited writers, and we get a lot of the returning cast as well. So, who else was from the first movie?
Maurice, that guy who played Maurice. What's his name?
I'm trying to pick
Jonas
up his name
Blockett.
Correct.
Probably, as always, pronouncing it incorrectly, but that's who's back. Other than that, I didn't really see anyone back. Obviously, Bonnie, who plays the nun, she's back. That's pretty much who's returned from the 2018 film.
Before we get into it, I wanted to ask you one thing. I don't remember this, so you correct me if I'm wrong. Did the original Nun have any sort of cliffhanger? Did it indicate that there would be another Nun movie?
No, not to my recollection, no.
Yeah.
Not to my recollection. But we knew it, though, because it was a prequel. I mean, the door is always open.
100%.
Yeah.
But I guess I was trying to remember if what was, discovered in this movie was teased at the end of the last movie, or if it was something that they just, not retconned, but just added in there. I don't remember, I guess, spoiler alert, the whole thing with Maurice.
Yeah. No, I wouldn't say so. I mean, I remember in the first film, the nun kind of has him, pinned one hand. And in this film, we never actually see the possession take place. Mm-hmm. But in this film, when Sister Irene figures out that Maurice has actually been possessed, they show
the whole thing,
the sequence, which is what we actually didn't get in the first one. So I guess they played with that to kind of transition to this film. So,
a little bit of Halloween H2O there, right? Remember,
Yeah, actually, very, very similar to the opening scene.
Halloween Resurrection, but whatever.
Yeah, very similar, very similar.
So I just wanted to say that because I didn't remember. A lot of these movies always end with teases and something like a small hint of like, yes, the nun is still alive or whatever it may be. And I didn't remember that. So I just wanted to mention that before I move forward. But with that being said, stars Thaisa Farmiga. I'm a big fan of Thaisa, and I'm a big fan of her sister.
American Horror Story, absolutely.
Yeah. Thaisa from American Horror Story, and her sister Vera from she's in
everything.
Motel,
I love her sister more. Nothing against Thaisa, but I love her sister
100%.
more. I know her from a lot more things.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But immediately when I see them on something, I always want to watch it.
They're great.
Getting back into this, I do have to say I wasn't a big fan of the first movie. I don't know about you, but I wasn't a big fan of the first movie.
I'm gonna go and say this right now. I like The Nun 2 better than the first Nun.
I do.
And
I'll say this in advance.
and this is not to discredit The Nun, but it's funny because you say you don't remember stuff too, and I really don't either. It's crazy because I remember watching it. I think I've definitely watched it more than once, but it's like, I guess because I told you I'm not really crazy like about like prequels and stuff like that, but this movie was just constant. The Nun 2. I mean, constant with their horror elements. We saw a lot of Valak, who's the name of the nun. It was an hour and 50 minutes, but it felt shorter to me. Like when it was done, I'm like that was it, because so much is happening, and I'm just like, this is pretty cool, and I remembered a lot. I mean, obviously, I saw it like 4 days ago, but still, it's to me this stood out a lot more than the original.
And that's crazy to say, considering the first one was co-written by James Wan. So this one was not. No James Wan credit on this one.
No James Wan at all. I mean...
But we both can say that we both like The Nun 2 more than we like The Nun 1. I mean, at least we can stand by that.
Yeah, absolutely. They definitely explored, a lot more. And there's, obviously, because it is The Conjuring, there's so many theories that fans have had in terms of Sister Irene and her relationship to Lorraine. Are they the same people? Are they related? All that stuff, and this kind of plays with Valak a little bit more, and also answers that question a little bit more, which I think I got my answer.
Yeah.
I don't know about you, but I always thought maybe they were the same person, but because it's not too far off. But I think after seeing this film, it's a little clear to me that they're not. I think they're related, but they're not the same person. Lorraine and Sister Irene are not the same.
But Irene is related to, I guess, that other, the person that they're trying to get her eyes.
Oh, Saint Lucy.
Yes.
Yeah.
Irene is related to Saint Lucy, and that's
because she had that vision, and also that vision explained a lot with her mother too. She touched up on her mother, how her mother saw vision as well, and obviously Lorraine has vision as well. So, and obviously they look the same, and they're sisters in real life. I mean, so there's obviously they're playing with that a little bit more, and then we also get a end credit scene, which kind of plays with it. Now I'm thinking, actually, you know what? I don't want to jump in. We're going to talk about that in a little bit. Let's talk about The Nun 2 from beginning to end. I guess. What did you think in terms of at least the intro sequence? I thought was pretty freaking creepy.
No, yeah, a lot of this movie was very, very well done. Pretty much all the scenes with Valak in terms of like the way she was killing people, how ruthless she was, especially early on. I didn't see that coming. I guess one of the feelings that I got from this movie early on was like, damn, they're going like down this ruthless path where it doesn't matter who the character is, they're killing them. They were killing, quote unquote, you would say, like, I mean, I guess the first character, the priest, okay, but then when they killed the girl, and that's when you first get
when
the
they
tease.
kill that girl, I'm just like, whoa, wait a minute. And that's another thing this movie did a lot too. Like it was like a lot more bloody. I mean, it wasn't crazy, like, bloody and gory per se, but it was a lot more than the first one. And like you said, they killed that girl. I'm like, no freaking way, man.
Like, and that's one of those things where, like, it's always like, or normally it's always the character who's an asshole or something. But this was the nice girl, the girl that the other girls were making fun of, and then, I mean, you get your kind of tease of what's going on with Maurice, which at the time I have no idea what the fuck was going on. And then it's just ruthless, and like I feel like they did a lot of good things with the demon in this movie. Yeah. And like you mentioned early on, from the first tease up until when that girl dies, and even the several scenes afterwards, but like they really hook you in when it comes to the demon. They really get you invested.
Absolutely. From the opening sequence itself, there's a lot going on. And I also kind of like how not that a lot is going on, like, but they do it in a way that hooks you, and also it makes sense because it touches all the characters. They did include a lot of new people in this film, and each character has an interaction somehow with this, I guess, figure. Valak, not Valak per se, but like the whole demonic essence of it. And it's like, oh shit, like why is that happening? And then the priest comes in, he calls in Sister Irene, or the father, I forgot who he was. He's like, obviously you got to investigate this. You've dealt with this before, blah, blah. And then she does a great job of, like, as she's investigating, kind of outlining it for us, and we have a better understanding. And for Maurice, I didn't know what was going on either at first. And then I saw, like, the hands, and then, like, she ends up killing the kid. So I'm just like, okay, he's possessed. Like, I instantly knew he was possessed. It's like, that's the only explanation there. But I didn't think he was going to die, because if you're a Conjuring fan, the first film, if you've seen it, Ed and Lorraine are showing an exorcism of a French-Canadian farmer named Maurice, which is him, and when they did an exorcism on him, and then eventually he ended up dying there. So I knew, like, that was the same guy, not the same actor, but it's the same person they're talking about.
See, I'm happy you caught that, because I did not remember that from.
Yeah, man. I actually ended up watching Conjuring 1 and 2. Not 3. I didn't watch 3 again. 2 last month. And I'm just like, okay, let me just, refresh up on my stuff a little bit. But yeah, so I saw that. I'm like, all right, there's no way he's dying. So they're going to save him. And it was also kind of foreshadow. And she was like, I'm in your debt, a life debt or something like that, what she was talking about. But yeah, I was very pleased. Like, even the trailer itself, they played with us a little bit. They took away some things that weren't really in the movie as well. And that's a great example of how a trailer should be and how a movie should be in terms of the horror elements. Like, everything was just constant. I'm just like, oh shit, here we go again. Just everything you can think of, like the locked doors when she sees, Valak in the staircase, Maurice being possessed outside. And it's just, there's so much that you can talk about. And it's just like, honestly, it gives me like the first Conjuring vibes. And it's really, it's cool. I like it a lot.
Yeah, I have to agree, but one thing I'll say that's a little bit different when it comes to this movie, I feel like it had a pretty large cast, right? So we have, Sister Irene, we have Maurice, we have Kate, we have Deborah, Sophie, and then Simone, if we count her.
Yeah.
We have we could even call the Madam.
Yeah, that person in charge. I'll say that much.
Yeah, but even she has a pretty like significant scene there with, the whole thing with her son, and then how the son is used to kind of get at her. And then we have to mention Bonnie Aarons and playing the nun, right?
Yeah.
Again, she does such a great job, but I guess what I was surprised is how large the cast was. Thaisa didn't have to carry this movie. I'm not saying that she did before, but it wasn't solely her movie. It really felt like there was a bigger cast to this in comparison to a lot of the other, I wouldn't say Conjuring movies in general, but I want to say in comparison to a lot of horror movies. Usually there's like one or two main characters. This really felt like they all had a pretty significant role.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree with you 100%.
Like, even again, Sophie being such a big part of the finale, running away and grabbing the eyes. And then Kate, protecting the kids, and even Deborah, protecting the kids. And then they played a lot with like the other monsters, the goat, and there was just a lot going on, and in a good way. What I mean is to say is like, I was just surprised at how big everything was.
I credit the writers. I credit the writers because it's not easy to play with a lot of cast members, and everybody, like you mentioned, had their own piece in this film. And it wasn't like it was just brushed off. Like, they had significant, scenes, and it's not easy to do. And like everything, like just the way they explained everything, the way, like, just from the beginning scene, and how like it's traveling west, and like the devil with the goat, and like just everything came like
everything was a setup. Everything was a setup.
Everything was a setup. Everything was a setup.
If you go back to the first scene when you first see the painting of, again, I don't remember her name. The
Saint Lucy.
Yeah, Saint Lucy. Yes, when you first see the painting of Saint Lucy, and you're like, okay, that just looks creepy. Till later when Irene explains who Saint Lucy is, till then the eyes playing a significant role, to then her being related to Saint Lucy.
Yeah, like she can't be burned. Like they set her on fire, but they couldn't burn her. Like
there's setups all over the place. And then there was another one that was coming to my head, but there was a lot of things like that or like the goat, the whole game with the goat, right? That was another setup where like, oh, they're seeing this thing, if you look at it the right way, it turns red, and then that ends up being a setup for where the eyes were. Like, everything was kind of really well thought out in terms of where it was going. And yeah, like, and it was also interesting to see, Maurice play the good guy, but also be possessed. Like, you
Yeah.
wanted to root for him, but he was also he wasn't bad, but he was possessed. And then you have
He was
his relationship
possessed,
with the
and
little girl.
I kind of liked him being possessed. Like he had like the body for it. It was like a freaking killer walking like the grounds of the school.
Yeah.
I think that was pretty cool too. Yeah, I mean, I really I don't know. I feel like these type of movies, when it comes to like, I guess, like this is a prequel, obviously, because it takes place before The Conjuring, but it's also like, what do you call those things where it takes
See,
it takes
spin-off.
place? It's a spin-off. There you go.
Yeah. I wouldn't necessarily call it a prequel.
Yeah,
Because
that's why I think
Yeah.
I'm actually enjoying it as much, and
Yeah.
you know,
It would be a prequel if it was like directly related to
related. Absolutely.
Yeah. Yes, it's in the same universe, but it's not. It's not like it's still the same people who are from The Conjuring in this particular movie. This is just something that happened in the same universe that happened to happen before. But yeah, I thought this movie was a lot better than the first one. To be honest, I wasn't a big fan of the first one. I was surprised when they announced the second one. But at least this one was a lot better than the first one. I have to say.
I agree with you, and I do want to talk about now the after credit scenes. I don't know if you did catch that or no?
I did.
Okay.
I did stay to the after credits.
Yes.
And you get that nice little phone call.
This is like after credit scenes. These are just, it's the new thing. Like, not the new thing, but you know what I'm saying. It's the thing now. It's the norm.
Yeah, it's the norm now. But I feel like the Conjuring universe has done this before. So I was kind of more expecting this than from a lot of other movies.
Yeah, and so the after credit scene, the end credit scene was, Ed and Lorraine Warren, present time. Not present, our present, but they're present in terms of Conjuring series. Get a phone call, and it's from the father. I forgot who it was from. Was it from the father or somebody? Yeah, from the father. Ed answers it. Ed, and he says hello, and then it goes black. We know Conjuring 4 is happening. The Conjuring 4 is happening. Conjuring 1, 2, I loved 1 and 2. Number 3 was good.
Feelings about
Was good. I'll say that. And then now we have the fourth one. I'm interested to see what the fourth one will, entail, and like, is there a connection with this film? I want now after seeing The Nun 2, I want there to be a connection here somehow.
Well, I don't think there'll be a connection. I think obviously they know that these movies are all in the same universe, so they just wanted to share with the audience that they are working on the next movie, and it is most likely going to be The Conjuring. The interesting thing is this is The Conjuring: The Devil Made Me Do It, which is Conjuring 3 is directed by the same person who did The Nun 2. And I mean, I'm on record saying I much prefer The Conjuring 1 and 2. I mean, those were directed by James Wan, but it's just something about 3 was just to me. Like it wasn't as.
It was like romantic and like it was weird.
Yeah.
Like it was just that was not it. Like the guy was cool, the main actor. But
it wasn't as scary as the first two.
Yeah.
But yeah, it is directed by the same person. I wonder if he's also going to be directing The Conjuring 4.
Yeah. But yeah. I mean, The Nun 2. If you've seen it, let us know your thoughts. We're gonna go ahead and give our ratings right now. You want me to go first, or
you go first? You go first.
Okay. You know what? Do you have a pen and paper?
Not in front of me, no. Oh, but I do have an iPad with Apple Pencil.
Okay, let's do that, because I don't want people thinking that you and I are like waiting for each other's rating, and we're gonna just go ahead and prove it to you that we do not talk about this beforehand. Okay? You ready? What's your rating? Wait. Why can't I write on it?
Yeah, I'm running into the same dilemma right now.
Wait, hold on. Sorry. Technical difficulties. Okay. I am ready.
I am not, so give me 1 second. I'm trying to see why this is not looking right. Oh, I think I fixed it.
No, I'm not ready at all, actually. I don't have my pencil on me. Jeez. Okay, that did not work at all for me. Can I write it? I'm going to write it.
This thing is being hilarious. All right, here. I'm just going to write a regular note, too.
Okay, I have it. I don't have my Apple Pencil on me. forgot it in my other room, and I'm not gonna go and get it now because it's gonna be weird, and I don't want there to be a delay. But I'm gonna show you my rating when you're ready. Dun, 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 dun. And survey says Tommy's still writing.
All right, let's go.
Ready?
Yes.
Flip it. Oh shit, you can't see it. Okay, 8.5. I have 8.5. Tommy has 8.
Yeah.
I'm so glad I put the half, because if you and I had, and you know what's crazy? I put 8 first, and I was like, you know what? 8.5. But yes, I agree with that rating, regardless of what our ratings are. I think 8.5 is a great rating for this film. It was fun to watch. It was scary. A lot was happening, and downside was, but also the upside is that they took away from the trailer. Even the AMC, because I went to watch AMC, even the AMC picture was the scene where Sister Irene is surrounded by the faceless nuns. Yeah. And that wasn't even in the movie. Yeah. It wasn't even in the movie. So I'm like, you know what? It is what it is. I don't care.
Will say sorry, move my mic out of the way. I will say that the one thing that I probably disagree with you a little bit is I do think the movie was a little too long. Shaved like 10 minutes away from the movie. I didn't have the same experience that you did with the pacing. I did feel like there were moments where it dragged a little bit. I felt like the movie was a little too long. It felt longer. To me, it felt longer than what it actually was. I looked at the runtime, and it's what, 1 hour and 50?
Yeah, 1 hour and 50. Yeah.
It felt longer than that to me.
Interesting. I guess for me, I just thought that like a lot was happening. I'm like, oh, cool. Like, and then when it was done, I'm like, it's done. Even like the final scene too. I'm like, that was it.
Yeah. The final scene was a little bit like fast, right? Like they didn't really. Yeah. It was just like fade to black sort of thing.
But yeah, that is The Nun 2. Like I mentioned again, if you've seen it, let us know what your thoughts are. We're going to move on here. We got some things to mention. Tommy, do you want to go first, or should I go first?
I can go first, actually.
Let's do it.
I know you had mentioned something to me that you had sent over, but before we get to that, I did want to talk about what I told you right before we started watching this. I didn't realize, I don't know if I missed this a couple weeks back, but they have a teaser for Chucky season 3 coming out less than a month away. Yes. And it's funny because I'm the one talking about this, but I'm the one that was least excited to even watch Chucky season 2, let alone 3.
Yeah, man. Chucky season 3 is releasing on October 4th. And
you sound like there was who was paid to say that.
No, it's crazy because I enjoy watching these Chucky.
You like him more than I do on record.
I like him for the fun of it. I don't like it for obviously how all over the place it can be. It's not really
I said I would have been
structured
happy.
Like that.
I said I would have been happy if they had just ended it with 2.
You did say that in our previous podcast. You did.
A lot of people were requesting they make a 3rd, and a lot of people got their wish.
Yeah.
Now we get this teaser, and the kids are nowhere in sight, and Chucky's taking over the White House. How do you feel?
How do I feel? My initial thoughts, just from seeing the teaser and whatnot, I don't like it. I don't like I know Don Mancini is known for this. Like even we saw obviously in the last season too, there was so much going on, especially with Tiffany's character, like a lot of fourth walls and being broken, and just it's a lot like you have to understand what's happening. I think for me, the reason why I did like the first 2 seasons though, it was because there was something very 1990s about it. I don't know how to explain it. Like not the phones and whatnot, but like the vibe, Hackensack, the fall, it's Halloween, it's Chucky, and like we're bringing back original characters as well, Andy Barclay and all that stuff, and it's like it's cool, and it's Chucky, and it's like it's funny, like I enjoy watching it for the fun parts. Going to the White House, and also we're bringing back freaking Devin Sawa, what his name is?
Yeah, Devin Sawa as a different
like,
character.
Come on, now you like if last year didn't solidify how crazy this season, I mean this whole series is going, this definitely does. Like this is all over the place. I'm not feeling it, to be honest with you. I'm going to watch it. If my opinion changes, that's great. But I'm not feeling it out. The White House, like the White House.
This was always my take, right? I enjoyed season one. I thought season one was okay. I thought it was good. I would go on record and say it was good. But
It's the best one.
yeah, for sure. And I thought, corresponding with the Child's Play movies or the Chucky movies, you can still kind of keep them in the same universe. But the more you watch Chucky now, the TV show, it starts going more and more off the rails. And not to say that the movies aren't off the rails, but they're going so off the rails that I don't know how they'll go back to, I guess, the movies in the... again, they're not realistic in any way, but they're more grounded. They're significantly more grounded.
Yeah, it's taken away from the horror aspect of this.
Yeah, they're significantly more grounded than the TV show. The TV show's all over the place. So now it's like, it reaches that point that now they're doing season 3, they're doing this whole White House thing. Can they even go back to do a movie that continues this? No, they're going to have to most likely, if they go back to making a movie, they're going to have to say, Chucky TV show never happened, right? They're going to have to just, continue off a curse of Chucky. But
which is something they've never done.
Yeah.
Dom Mancini has never,
Not only that, but like I like the idea of actually keeping everything kind of sort of tied in a way.
Yeah, me too.
But I mean, at this point, it's very likely that if they go back to making movies, they're gonna not. Basically, they're gonna ignore all the Chucky seasons. They're gonna continue off a curse.
You make a very valid point, and it's like, again, like another thing about the first season that I really did enjoy again was the horror aspect of it. It was a lot more serious. There was a tone there that was like, oh, Chucky, he's come back, and like now it's just like it's like one of those things like King Kong takes over this that it's just some bullshit, man. Like it's like I'll watch it again to watch it, but I don't know, man. I really, really don't know what's going on here. I don't know if it's now the money. I mean, the fans loved it. They loved season 2. I can see why. I thought it was cool, like fun. I thought it was fun. I'll put that one, but I'm not looking for fun anymore. Like, so let's see how that goes. October 4th, Chucky season 3. Are you excited? Let us know. If you are, get yourself examined. Moving on. I wanted to talk to you about this Thanksgiving trailer, man. And
yes, I did.
I was blown away. I mean, listen, we've had Halloween. Halloween belongs to Michael Myers. The season Halloween, the franchise is tied with that. We know that. Now this Thanksgiving film is interesting. A new slasher in the horror, what you call the genre, and I gotta say, I'm pretty, hooked. I'm not gonna lie, I'm pretty hooked because the trailer was pretty cool, and they have a decent cast, I would say. They got Patrick Dempsey, Addison Rae, Rick Hoffman. A lot of people know him from The Condemned. They know him from Suits. They know him from a lot of things, and yeah, I mean, I'm interested. Eli Roth. He's directing this film. The trailer looks very festive, very Turkey-ish. It's just. There's a lot going on here, and I just love the mystery slasher. That's just iconic. That's classic, and I'm down. I'm down to watch this, man. I really, really am. Can I read you the synopsis, actually?
Yeah, go ahead.
Can I read you the synopsis? After a Black Friday riot ends in tragedy, a mysterious Thanksgiving-inspired killer terrorizes Plymouth, Massachusetts, the birthplace of the infamous holiday. Interesting.
Yeah. No, again, it's one of those things I mentioned, they started doing these horror movies, and it's per season now. I mean, you can go back and say we have My Bloody Valentine. That's Valentine's Day.
Yes, exactly.
We have Halloween. We have Black Christmas. And I think before you said you didn't really like the idea of having these sort of Christmas or not Christmas, holiday themed horror movies. But this one looks good, and I can't lie.
Have we ever had a Thanksgiving one?
I want to say probably in the history of all movies, there most likely was a horror movie where really? A turkey's killing people or something. I don't know.
I mean, probably. I guess not to my
no
recollection.
I mean,
but
a quick Google search will answer our questions. Thanksgiving horror movies. What do we got here? Blood Freak, Home Sweet Home, Blood Rage.
Plymouth. I said Plymouth.
Addams Family.
Thanks.
Apparently, Addams Family takes place in Thanksgiving.
Okay, it takes place in Thanksgiving, but it's not like a...
Escape Room, apparently, it takes place during Thanksgiving.
Whatever. People help me out here. You guys know. You know what I'm talking about.
There is a Black Friday movie. That's around Thanksgiving.
Okay.
This is different. I admit this is different.
Yeah, it seems like a slasher. That's what I guess what I was looking for. A little more a slasher Thanksgiving film.
100%.
Jeez.
Keep in mind, I believe this is a remake as well. You know that, right?
No, I did not know that, and
So-
I love learning things. So tell me more about that.
So, I think I mentioned this before. Cabin Fever, was one of the movies that I really liked. Was directed by
Love
Eli
Cabin
Roth.
Fever.
They remade it, and Eli Roth directed again. And I think Thanksgiving is the same sort of situation where it was one of his older movies that they're remaking. So yes, 2007 Thanksgiving, a parody of holiday slasher movie trailers. So it's completely different actually. He added it now has a story, but he did have a previous movie called Thanksgiving that he also directed 2007.
Oh, interesting. I did not see that. I will take a look into that. I know Cabin Fever. I love Cabin Fever. It was with Ryder Strong. He's my guy Sean from Boy Meets World. I remember seeing it. It was nice. But no, I did not know that. So if you did not know that, now you know. But yeah, I think I like it a lot. It's one of those feels. I feel like it's one of those feels where you're like just invested in the film to figure out like why there's a motive behind and in this specific time. I just like, I don't know. I like it. I'm down, and I like Patrick Dempsey. I'm wondering why he's in this film because he's very established in his career. So we'll see. We'll see what's going on there.
If he's in it, there has to be something good. So
yeah, I think he's like a
that.
sheriff or something, or I don't know. Like there's like I go on like IMDb just try to figure out more information. Like they don't give me names to their characters; they only give me the actors. So I'm interested to see. What I will say though, the trailer seemed like it had a lot of kills.
No, it did.
A lot of kills.
It
So
seemed
I'm
like
just
there's a
like,
lot going on. Yeah.
yeah. So I think that's what like hooked me up a little bit. So I was like, let me see. But yeah, man. Yeah. Thanksgiving
All right.
dropping. When is it releasing? Do you know?
I would guess near Thanksgiving.
Yeah, that's for sure.
Well, we have the most highly requested topic that everybody wants to know about. When is the next Winnie the Pooh movie coming out?
Oh God, nobody wants to know that.
And who's in it? Come on.
Nobody
Come on,
wants to know that, man.
So, was this early this morning or was this yesterday night? Mr. X texted me. He's like, "I'm so excited. They just showed Tigger in Winnie the Pooh."
Lies.
Lies.
I
and he
did
sends
not.
me
I
this
texted him. I texted
He
him
sends me
that
this picture of Tigger in the new Winnie the Pooh movie, and he puts hearts all over it. Like I knew he liked gore, but not like this, man. This
Nah.
This
I
first look of
texted
Tigger?
him the first look at Winnie the Pooh 2. So Winnie the Pooh 2 has a new look. I guess they were working on it right away, and this is such a mess that I don't even know how to uncover it.
I have to share. I'm sorry. Look at this.
Yeah, share the screen. There it is. I mean, he does look freaking nasty compared to the first film. Apparently,
I think he has a tail. I think he has a tail, but I don't see him bouncing on the tail.
yeah, I don't know. I mean,
This is
listen.
Tigger,
If I'm
guys.
just judging this based off the picture, looks pretty scary. It looks pretty
But you
disgusting.
gotta admit, they did a pretty good job with even all the other woodland creatures. Like they all look
Yeah,
kind
no,
of scary.
I mean, they did. It says though Tigger. It says Tigger's also shown somewhere, but I haven't seen Tigger, so I don't know.
Wait, isn't this Tigger?
Is
Isn't
that?
who we're talking about? Yes, this is Tigger, bro.
No, put that
Yes.
back. Put that back up.
Oh my god!
I thought that was.
You sent me
Pooh.
it. You sent me it. You said the first look at Tigger.
Oh my god! I thought that was just a caption.
No, this is Tigger. It's not Winnie the Pooh. He looks like a
No
look at the ears.
freaking way.
This
I'm
is
like,
Tigger, bro.
okay, my whole take on it has just completely like.
Tigger's supposed to be a tiger, right? So this is.
I know, but that looks like Pooh though. Am I bugging out?
Well, let me find a picture of Pooh, because I think they do have a new picture of Pooh as well. Pooh looks different in the second movie.
I could have sworn that was Pooh, and then they decided to have a different take on it. There's no way that's Tigger. People who are watching this, not listening because you can't see it while you're listening, but if you're seeing this picture right now, does this look like Tigger to you? Or does this look like more of Pooh or more like Tigger? Like I think it's more like Pooh. But it does say Tigger. You're right. So clearly I'm wrong. But wow,
All right,
that's
just keep in mind that sorry, these pictures
The
don't
heck?
seem the highest of quality. Like, this is supposed to be from the new movie. Are you seeing this?
I see.
That's Pooh, and then I think they have like
So
a young
he looks the
version of
same.
Pooh.
He looks the same. He looks the same.
I don't know if this is supposed to be Piglet again. I don't know who is this Owl? This might be Owl, bro.
It might be. It looks like feathers on the back.
But I thought Piglet died. Who don't know who this is? Or maybe this is Eeyore. Maybe this is a prequel. I don't know what's going on here.
Yeah, I have no idea what's happening. Okay,
And
fine.
then they have one more picture, but you don't even make out who this is. Like, what is this supposed to be? I don't know.
Interesting. Listen, I'll give them credit in terms of like the shots they have. You know, it looks pretty sick if I'm just judging it based off the picture. But the first movie was just so bad. It was just so bad. If you like don't want to do anything and you want to watch a bad horror movie, watch Winnie the Pooh.
Yeah, and then now they have a higher budget, so let's see what happens now.
That's insane, man. People will pay to watch. That's crazy.
Alrighty then. So,
yeah.
moving on.
Yeah, moving on. Sorry, that was just so bad. Moving on. Should I go?
Yes.
All right. I don't know if you guys follow us on Twitter, but we tweeted yesterday. We said that Beetlejuice 2 is 99% done with filming, according to Tim Burton. But it's, obviously shut down until the strike ends. So Tim Burton went on record to say that he has about a day and a half of filming left, that pretty much everything else is done. I have two feelings at the same time. I'm very happy. I'm very happy that this is almost done. Like, this is almost done. Like, it's there. We're at the finish line. But I'm upset that we're not at the finish line, because now we got to put this on hold. And it's just like,
imagine getting 99% through something and then be like, "Nah, you can't finish it now. You gotta wait."
Absolutely. I'm a big fan of the first Beetlejuice, and we talked about this on our podcast before. I'm interested to see how this one's going to go. They brought back some cast members. Obviously, we have what's her face? I'm blanking out for some reason. Jenna Ortega, she's here playing the daughter. So it's like, I'm very excited. We've seen some pictures, I guess, of them shooting, and it's like, spooky season is here. What a perfect time to have been released and like pushed. So if you're waiting for Beetlejuice 2, it's done, but it's not. So it's
It's done, but you have to wait for it. It's one of those things where like this is only going to drive my anxiety higher. Where like I was already nervous to see the movie, and now it's like 99% done. We gotta wait. Yeah. Alrighty then.
Yeah. So that was that. Speaking of Jenna Ortega, I wanted to go ahead and mention something about Wednesday season 2. So we obviously know how the first season ended. Obviously, she got a phone and then she got a text, and then who she thought was behind it all wasn't. But actor Piercy Hines has been reportedly written out of Wednesday following sexual assault allegations. Now,
who's Percy?
He played Xavier. He played the guy who couldn't draw and bring things to life. Like, she heavily accused him in season 1 of being the Beast. Even had him arrested at one point.
Yeah.
Now, it's unfortunate. It's very unfortunate, because I feel like they've written that first season to kind of develop his character. And at the end, obviously, him giving the phone to her and having this type of trust, we understood that there was a path that Wednesday was going to go towards in season 2 with Xavier. But now he's written off completely. So now I think that just, he's a big character. It changes things. This is a very unfortunate, circumstance. I don't like to talk about people's personal, life here. I'm just mentioning it for the sake of Wednesday, just in case you didn't know. You were looking forward to a Xavier Wednesday relationship or something like that. I have no idea. Doesn't look like that's gonna happen. So I just wanted to prep you for that.
Yeah, good to know. I definitely did not know that.
Yeah.
One of those things where, like, I'm sure they're gonna work their way around it, but it is what it is. I mean, if they have to do it, they have to do it.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. For sure. Um, yeah, that's what I have so far on my end, Tommy.
Okay. I just want to mention one last thing,
Do it.
at least from my end. So, did you see this movie or this? I guess it's a comedy slasher called Totally Killer.
Why does that sound so familiar?
So it's a Blumhouse movie, believe it or not. But it's Blumhouse and Amazon. And it's
Oh,
this
I saw the
new,
trailer to this.
yes, it's this Sweet 16 killer or whatever. He has like this mask with blonde hair.
Yes. Totally killer. Yes. But no, tell me more about it. Tell me more about it. I didn't see the film. Is it out?
No. So it's actually coming out less than a month from now, October 6th, but it's coming into Amazon. It's a slasher comedy, like I mentioned, teaming up Blumhouse and Amazon. And there is a teaser to it. Doesn't really show much, but from what everybody's saying, it's frightening, it's fresh, it's has iconic villains, and this is like their new, I guess, Blumhouse's new icon. You know how they did, every one of these characters that they've done with, like from Freaky, Black Phone, and stuff like that. This is like a new one that they're trying to put out there.
Yeah.
But
Nice.
yeah.
Very. Yeah. I think I saw a little bit of it. I'm down to see it. I think it's pretty cool. It's just, again, it's the time, right? It's the time. It's the spooky season, so I'm down for it. One thing I actually did want to mention myself, I forgot one thing. Natalia Dyer, who plays Nancy in Stranger Things, there's a movie that she's in called All Fun and Games. And I saw the trailer to this. I'm going to let you watch it, after this podcast. I don't know if you've seen it. But
I have not.
It's about an ancient game, childhood games, and it takes a turn for the worst. She has a little sister, and she I guess she encounters some entity or something like that, and like she kind of forces, Natalia Dyer's group of friends to play the game, and then they realize it's a lot more serious than they thought.
I feel like I saw this. I feel like I saw this.
Yeah. It's pretty common. I've seen it, honestly. It was like in passing. I was like reading it. I'm like, oh, cool. Let me see the trailer. I saw it.
Looking it up, I've seen this trailer. I just don't remember when I saw it.
Yeah. So if you want to look at that,
It's
take
like
a look
the
at
whole
that.
X on the forehead thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I saw this.
Yeah, trailer's good. Trailer did look good. I liked it. I was like, all right, let me see what it's about. But that's it. I do want to say one thing before we log off, before you sign us off, Tommy. Spooky season is a great season. One of our best times of the year. If you have any stories, any scary stories, any activities, any movies you want us to watch, please let us know. Please reach out to us. Tommy will tell you where. Please reach out to us. I want to do this thing where every week I give out a movie, a movie lost in the vault. How about we put it like that you should watch? And I'm gonna say,
I already have one that I really enjoy. That's like lost.
Start it. Start this week.
Today. We'll start next week.
Start next week. Okay, perfect.
I want to be able to dive deep on it. You know what I mean? So I
okay, perfect.
Do it off the top of my head right now.
Perfect. But yeah, sign us out.
Before I sign us out, I do want to say one last thing.
Okay.
Another movie. We're not talking about it yet, but I'm excited to watch it in a month. The Exorcist Believer is a couple weeks away. I just want to bring that out back to the foreground. It is still something that I'm excited to watch. There's a second trailer out, and it's a lot longer and it shows a lot more. But I'm intrigued. I'll say that much.
October 6th.
Correct, October 6th. And with that being said, please follow us on all social media platforms. Follow us on Twitter at That Terrific, on Instagram, at X That Terrific, Instagram, Twitch, That Terrific. Please review us on all podcast platforms, the Apple Podcast app, Spotify. Again, follow us on Twitch as well, because if you don't,
well, that's horrific. Peace.